I'm sorry, Della. But from now on, I'll be taking Kai from you, okay?
What kind of reason is that? The two of you get back here right now. I don't even get why you think texting me something like that was such a good way to try and end things. I am not going to let you off the hook, Remy.
I don't really care if you're okay with this or not. That's why I think the two of us should just calm down now.
But you just took your older sister's fiancé from her. Why the hell would you do something so horrible to me? For how long even have the two of you been dating behind my back?
We only just started going out with each other. Kai and his friends came into the bar I've been working part-time at, and after talking for a little while, they asked me to join them for drinks after my shift finished, and so I did. And then from there, the two of us started to really get into one another, and that's how we started dating.
What?
Maybe I'm the reason some stick in the mud like you ended up losing your fiancé and chance at marriage. I'm sure once he got a taste of me and my fantastic character, he no longer needed you around. You should be thankful that I was able to save him from your grips when he was looking for something a bit more colorful with another woman.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna be honest. I've always hated the idea of you. You were the more serious of us two, and Mom and Dad always seemed to care more about you. You did so well in high school and in college, and always ended up finishing at the top. And when it came to you finding a job, you landed a spot in a very large and still growing company. And even after all of that, you decided to find a man that was going to marry you? That's disgusting to me. So, for the longest time, I just thought it'd be nice if at least once I could do better than you.
You're kidding me. That's going to be your reason for stealing my fiancé away from me?
Well, to be frank, I didn't think this would work out so well for me. But Kai turned out to be a lot more into me than I was expecting. I think that he really wasn't happy with the effort you put into the relationship you guys had before.
Huh?
All I had to do was show him a little lovin', and he immediately told me that he loved me. He said that I'm way more cute than you and know how to have fun. He then said that if he had to choose who to make his wife, he'd rather have me over you.
What?
And I've been hearing from both Mom and Dad that they want me to hurry up and find a life of my own outside their house. So now that I have your man with me, I'll be leaving. I'll make sure to do what you never could and make Kai one big and happy man for you.
Hey, Kai, do you really plan to just throw away the plans you and I had together? Are you really okay with running away with Remy and starting a life with her?
Yeah, I plan on marrying Remy now. But having to marry your little sister after saying I would marry you, I don't think that'll go over well with your guys' parents. And so that's why I think the two of us are going to stay away from you guys forever and have our wedding.
We have been dating for 5 years, and I was so happy to have you finally propose to me. So why the hell would you throw me away like this? Was there something so wrong with me that'd make you choose that path?
Well, there was, yeah. If you want me to make this blunt, I'd say that dating you always tired me out a lot. You were always way too serious about everything. I was fine with that at first, but being with someone as perfect as you started to put loads of pressure on me.
Huh?
You ended up graduating from a university far better than mine, and with all the work you've found, you're making way more than me in a year. And when it comes to your cooking and cleaning, you're just too perfect. You've even started to diet for the wedding we had planned on, and you've lost 15 pounds. Being next to someone that is so perfect and does everything right, it's tough.
You're saying that's all been tough on you? I remember you telling me something completely different when we started dating. You said that you liked all those things about me, right? You would always cheer me on doing so well, but now you're saying that was too much for you?
Of course, when we started going out, I really liked all of that about you. But come on! You being that perfect just wore me out. It made me feel like I was never good enough for you and just a mess, and it always hurt me thinking that way.
Really?
If maybe you were bad at cooking or maybe didn't do chores that well, at least then I would have accepted you more as wife material.
Hold on, Kai. You told me a while back that you didn't like my cooking or the way I did chores, so I went through all the hard work to make myself perfect for you. And now you're saying you don't like that and want me to have some weak points? I went through days and weeks of learning how to do better and how to cook all the meals you liked. And now you're telling me I've been doing too well and that it's tired you out? You can't say things like that to me, Kai.
Shut up! I don't expect for you to understand how I'm feeling right now. Unlike you, my education is less, and the money I make is less. Can't you see that living in your shadow for years now has made me feel insignificant?
Kai.
So unlike you, your little sister is perfect for being at my side. No matter where I take her, she always praises me for taking her to places she's never seen before. Whenever I do anything with her, she's so cute and tells me how well I'm doing, lol. Even when I just take her out to eat fast food, she'll say how happy she is that I'm paying for her, lol. I guess men can never resist a woman that actually looks up to them as though they're the man of the house, lol.
I see. So you never got any of those reactions from me then, huh?
When it comes to a married couple, the love they show for each other goes both ways. But when one is perfect compared to the other, they begin to tire the other one out. Lol. I'm happy that you and I were able to be together, but now that I've seen just how perfect you are, I think you'd be better off by yourself so that you can continue to be better than everyone else. Lol. See you, lol.
Della, I plan on coming back to Mom and Dad's new house that you guys ended up getting today. And so I plan on also taking over your room, okay? I'm sure with the place being newly built and everything, that new room is going to be so modern and all.
Wait, Remy?
I saw that while Kai and I have been away from everyone, you ended up going back to Mom and Dad's new house, right? So that must mean you've been living in what will soon be my bedroom while I've been gone, right? I'd like for you to give me my room back now. I'm sorry, but it's time for you to leave their house. I'll be needing that room back by today.
Wait a second, Remy. Why are you coming back here now? The whole reason that Mom and Dad brought me back to live with them here in this new house of theirs is because they were completely shocked by the way you ran off with Kai and married him. Yet, now you think you can come back and live here?
Well, actually, Kai and I have split up. A couple things happened between us that aren't really important now. But that's why I'll be coming home now.
You guys broke up? But didn't you tell me the whole reason you took him from me was because you made him so much happier? I heard that you guys had even already gotten married to each other and everything.
Well, I found out that he wasn't as happy with me as I'd first thought. And so that's why the two of us got a divorce.
What?
I mean, Kai turned out to be a bit more of a handful than I first thought he'd be. If I didn't tell him how happy I was about him every other moment that we were together, he'd get all upset with me and throw a fit. And he'd even start getting all childish and say that because he didn't make me happy anymore, he'd no longer pay for my food at restaurants, even though we were married. So after a little bit of dealing with his attitude, I just couldn't do it anymore.
And that's the reason for you to getting a divorce?
Also, you'd think that because I'm so cute and he was able to get a young wife like me, he'd work harder to make more money for us, right? Well, after 3 years, he still wasn't making any more than he was when we first met. I thought that if he could be with someone as amazing as you, he'd at least be able to make a lot of money himself. Yet he never once got a raise or anything, so I told him it was over.
And so you think you can just casually come home and take this house from me now? I can't believe you're not even embarrassed by any of that.
Huh? Why would I be embarrassed? There's tons of people that return to their parents' house after getting divorced. However, in my case, my room has been taken over by you. I can't believe you'd do something like that to me.
The only one I can't believe is you. Mom, Dad, and myself have no plans of ever forgiving you for what you did. So go out and find a place to live at by yourself because you're not welcome back here.
I can't. I don't even have the money right now to get a place of my own. And while living together with Kai for a while, I began to miss the easy life I had back with Mom and Dad. When I didn't have parents around to do all the cooking and cleaning for me, it felt like a nightmare. So that's why I'll definitely be coming back home.
I should have known you'd be that self-centered.
And that's why I chose to sell most of your things, and I'll be using the money to take care of my shopping.
Wait, You sold my things? What? Wait! Where the hell are you right now, Remy? I thought you told me you were only just starting to come back home, right?
Huh? Actually, I've been at the new house for a little bit now. I saw that you guys had that new auto lock installed on the house and all, but the back sliding door was open, so I chose to let myself in. And then I went right to your room and put them all on social media, and they've sold.
What?
And so with that, I'd like you to go live on your own now. You don't even have a room here anymore. And I'm sorry, but I had all my things delivered here today, so I'm already unpacking.
But I have been living on my own already.
Huh?
I still don't understand why you'd break into the house on your own, and then end up selling all the things in that room. There really is no hope left for a child like you.
Wait, so you've already gone back to living on your own again? That's strange. I heard that after losing your fiancé, you ended up moving back in with Mom and Dad.
That's right, and to keep Mom and Dad from worrying about you and me, I did end up going home to them and their new house. But right after that, we chose to sell that house and move out.
Huh? You sold the house?
And then after we'd done that, I went back to living on my own again. Mom and Dad went and moved into a condo, and that's where they're living at the moment.
What the heck? I never knew about any of that. Why would you guys sell that place without ever telling me?
Shut the hell up, Remy. It's your fault in the first place that we chose to never speak to you about anything ever again.
Huh? Why are you blaming me for this?
The story of you and Kai running away from us after you stole him from me started to spread around the neighborhood. And then they'd always come to us about it, and it was completely embarrassing. No matter what we tried to do or where we tried to go, everyone was talking about how we did something wrong to upset you two, and that's why you ran. And since we could never get anyone to shut up about you guys, we had to end up running ourselves.
Wow! So that all happened while I was gone, huh?
We thought that at some point everyone would just leave us alone and we could wait until then. But over time, more and more people would come by and say things to us, and it was driving us mad. Luckily, at the time we all were fed up, Dad was able to get his retirement, and we were able to sell that house.
Is that so?
And because of that, I chose to go back to living on my own. And Mom and Dad wanted to relax somewhere far away, and that's why they chose to move into a condo resort.
Huh? Wait a minute. So the things that I chose to sell have nothing to do with you?
That's right. None of us live in that house anymore.
Well then, whose things did I end up selling and throwing away? It's none of your things, and you guys ended up selling this place. Whose things were all of those?
I have no clue. We left that house to be sold by the realtors. I heard that they might have turned to renting the house out. Maybe those things that were in there belonged to the realtors or something like that. but Mom and Dad and I have no idea who's living there now.
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap! So that means that I've just broken into the house and sold the things of someone I don't know? I really just did something that I really shouldn't have done, right?
Yeah. Normally, that'd be something that the police would have to get involved with, and that's why I took the liberty of calling them for whoever owns that house. I think that both the police and the realtors will be showing up there soon now, so just hang tight and stay quiet so that they can handle everything for you.
What? You're lying about calling the police on me, right? Did you really just sell me out to the police?
I can't just look away from a crime, and so I'll be going now.
Della, it's been a while. Are you doing all right for yourself?
Oh, hi, Kai. I'm doing all right here, but I'd assume you're in need of help? I heard about it already from Remy, but the two of you got divorced?
Yeah, I was finally able to get away from her, and things feel a whole lot better. Being married to Remy was the worst experience of my life. I honestly wonder why I even chose to marry her in the first place.
Huh?
At first, I thought it was cute how she always relied on me for everything, but things never changed between us and she never got any better. She'd never work her job, and she'd barely be able to get any of the housework done. That whole time, it just felt as though I was the one doing everything. Having to live with someone like that really burned me out.
But wasn't that the kind of marriage you wanted? After all, you didn't want to have to marry someone as perfect as me, right? That's the reason you said you loved Remy, and you ran off with her to get married.
Well, I've finally realized what happened there. I was too naive at the time to realize that I really should have stayed with someone that was better than me. In reality, I have always still loved you, actually. So please, Della, can you and I get married?
What?
I'm sorry for hurting you 3 years ago. I really must have left you with sad memories of the day Remy and I ran away from you and your family. But I promise from now on that I'll make all of that up to you by making you the happiest girl. I'll show you that I can be a man that doesn't create stupid situations and cause you embarrassment. And I will never again say something as selfish as you being too perfect for me and tiring me out. So please marry me.
I'm sorry. I have my wedding tomorrow.
What? Your wedding? You're gonna be getting married tomorrow then?
Yes, I started going out with an awesome man, and so we're getting married. He's even the kind of man that respects all the effort I've put into becoming who I am, and strives to become perfect himself. He told me that he wants to be with me, not only because he loves me, but because he sees my achievements as something he wants to set as his own goals.
No, that guy is definitely lying to you. I'm sure he'll just end up like me from the past and leave you right before the wedding. I think if you plan to get married, you should come back to me.
Thank you for worrying about me, but I'll be fine. The man I'm with now graduated from the same college as me, and he's even started working within the same company as me too.
What?
Unlike you, he seems to enjoy being with me and only feels the pressure to fight as hard as I do to succeed. And when I told him about the reasons why you left me for Remy, he started to burst out laughing about you. He said you had all the wrong reasons for feeling pressured. I just had to tell him that you were a pathetic man, lol.
What? Excuse me?
He even told me that even if either one of us begins to make far more than the other, he'd never let that be a reason to leave me. He said that having someone close to him that was strong enough to make large amounts of money makes him feel so happy inside. And that'll be the man that I marry tomorrow.
Wait, Della. I've finally come around to noticing that as well. So don't you think it'd be easier to come back to me?
I'm gonna say no thank you. Well, now I have to start getting myself prepared for the wedding tomorrow. Have a good one, Kai.
What am I going to do, Della? I was just given a bill from the realtors asking for me to pay them back $30,000 for all the things I sold. They are telling me that if I don't get the money to them soon, that I'll be taken away by the police.
Wait, you still haven't gone to jail yet? Those are some really kind realtors then.
They aren't kind at all. They're asking for $30,000. How would I ever be able to just have that kind of money laying around right now?
But you have the money from selling other things, as well as the money from the divorce, right? That should be enough to pay it all off.
Well, if it's not too much to ask, can you help me out with this a little? You're working for a large company with a huge salary right now, right? So you should already have a lot saved up in your savings, right?
I do, but I'm not going to help you.
Then can you at least tell me where Mom and Dad moved to so that I can go see them? I tried yesterday to call both of them, but for some reason neither of them picked up. I really just want to go back to living with them. I want to live together with Mom and Dad again.
But you showed us that you wanted to be away from them for the rest of your life when you ran away with Kai. You told the both of them to shut up and just let you go. Yet now, you're asking for them to take you back in after all you did? I don't get it. Especially when it was all your fault for even having us sell our old house.
Well, that was...
Well, I guess if you'd like, you can go talk with them. But I remember them both telling me very clearly that they don't want to see you anymore. They are both telling me that now, actually, as we speak.
Right now? So you guys are all together right now?
Well, yeah, today's the day of my wedding, right? They're here right now to celebrate the wedding of their only daughter, after all.
What? You're getting married today?
Because of you taking that dirtbag Kai away from me, I was able to find a much more appropriate man for me to live with. So I have to say thank you for that. But since you stole my fiancé from me, I will never be forgiving you. Now, have a great time with the police. You don't have the money, so you might as well make it easy for everyone and go to jail. After that, Remy went to anyone and everyone she could find, pleading for help with her financial troubles. She approached old friends, co-workers, and even distant relatives, anyone who might have a spare dollar to lend. It was an act of desperation, her voice trembling as she explained the mess she was in and how badly she needed the money to get out of it. From what I've heard, she managed to collect just enough to temporarily resolve the immediate crisis. But of course, this wasn't without its consequences. Many people only gave her money reluctantly, their faces filled with doubt as they handed over small bills. Some outright refused, chastising her for her poor decisions or pointing out that they had their own struggles to deal with. Despite the humiliation she endured, Remy somehow scraped together enough to pay off the debt collectors who were breathing down her neck. But the relief was short-lived. She had to hand over every cent she had gathered, leaving her with nothing to live on. That's how she ended up stuck working nights at a local bar in town, a job she absolutely detested. The bar wasn't exactly a classy establishment either. It was one of those places where the floor always seemed sticky. The jukebox played the same tired songs, and the regulars were rowdy and prone to causing trouble. Remy worked there every single day of the week, often pulling long shifts that left her physically and emotionally drained. She had no days off, no breaks to recover, and no escape from the monotonous grind of pouring drinks, cleaning up messes, and dealing with drunk patrons who sometimes got a little too handsy or confrontational. It was a miserable existence, but she had no choice. It was the only way she could keep herself afloat, at least for the time being. Rumors began to swirl around town about her situation, and none of them were good. Word spread that everything she'd been through was really starting to take its toll on her. People whispered that she looked more exhausted and disheveled with each passing day. Some said she had started gambling again, clinging to the hope of a miraculous win that could solve all her problems. The irony was almost cruel. Gambling was what had landed her in trouble in the first place, and now it seemed to be dragging her even deeper into the abyss. Apparently, she was visiting seedy casinos and back-alley poker games whenever she had the chance, desperately chasing that elusive lucky hit. But luck wasn't on her side. She kept losing, and with every loss, her debt only grew. It was a vicious cycle. She gambled to escape her stress, lost more money, and then felt even more stressed as her financial situation worsened. To make matters worse, Remy took on another job to make a little extra cash. This time, she started working at a strip club. The decision wasn't an easy one. She had wrestled with it for days, feeling ashamed and conflicted about what it might mean for her reputation. But in the end, she felt she had no other choice. The bills were piling up, and the bar job alone wasn't cutting it. The strip club was even grittier than the bar, and the atmosphere there was far from glamorous. The lights were dim, the music loud, and the clientele often made her feel unsafe. Remy forced herself to smile and act confident, but deep down, she hated every second of it. She kept telling herself it was just temporary, that she would quit as soon as she saved up enough money to get back on her feet. But with her gambling problems spiraling further out of control, the extra cash she earned never seemed to last long. She was always just one bet away from what she believed would be her big break, and that belief kept her trapped in a downward spiral. Meanwhile, Kai's story wasn't much better. After everything fell apart, he tried to move back in with his parents, thinking they might offer him a second chance. But they had already heard about what he'd done, how he had lied, squandered money, and burned bridges, and they were having none of it. When Kai showed up at their doorstep, his father barely opened the door before telling him, in no uncertain terms, that he was no longer welcome. His mother, though visibly upset, stood firm by her husband's side. They told Kai to never show his face there again, leaving him no choice but to walk away with his head hung low. With nowhere else to go, Kai managed to land a job at a toy factory in town. It wasn't exactly a dream job, but it was steady work that paid just enough to cover the basics. The factory was loud and monotonous, the kind of place where you clock in, perform the same repetitive tasks for hours, and then clock out without much to show for it other than sore muscles and a small paycheck. Still, Kai figured it was better than nothing. On his days off, Kai focused all his energy on trying to find someone to marry. He believed that a stable relationship could turn his life around, that having a wife would somehow validate him and give him the fresh start he so desperately wanted. But his approach to dating was deeply flawed. Kai held ridiculously high standards for the women he met, standards that most people would find laughable given his current circumstances. For one, he insisted that any potential partner had to make more money than he did, a tall order considering his modest income from the factory. On top of that, he expected them to be perfect at housework, envisioning a traditional setup where his future wife would cook, clean, and take care of him without complaint. These expectations not only came across as unrealistic, but also incredibly entitled, especially coming from someone who had made so many mistakes in his own life. Unsurprisingly, Kai struggled to find anyone willing to meet his demands. Most women he approached either laughed in his face or walked away, unimpressed by his attitude. A few tried to politely explain that relationships should be built on mutual respect and compromise, but Kai dismissed their advice, convinced that he was in the right. As a result, he remained single and increasingly frustrated, blaming his lack of success on everything but his own behavior. The stories of Remy and Kai became cautionary tales in the community, examples of how bad decisions and stubborn pride could lead to a life of hardship and isolation. People would talk about them in hushed tones, shaking their heads at how far they had fallen. Some felt pity, others scorn, but everyone seemed to agree on one thing. They were both trapped in cycles of self-destruction, and unless they found a way to change, their situations were only going to get worse. Remy, with her gambling and multiple jobs, was sinking deeper into debt and despair, while Kai, with his unrealistic expectations and refusal to take responsibility, was stuck in a lonely rut. Their stories served as reminders of the importance of humility, accountability, and the need to seek help in healthy, constructive ways. But whether either of them would ever learn those lessons remained to be seen. For now, they continued on their respective paths, each day a new struggle to survive, and each choice leading them further away from the lives they once dreamed of having. The cycle of poor decisions weighed heavily on their futures, making it harder for anyone to see how they could ever truly recover or find happiness again. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
AJ, why did you even come to the
left me. He went back to his parents' house because of all this mess. clear. At least my family will no longer have to bear the consequences of her actions. David, on the other hand, was deeply affected by everything that happened. He seemed quite down, struggling with the aftermath of the ordeal. Fortunately, his husband and younger brother often took him out, helping to distract him and provide emotional support. I believe that, with time, the wounds to his heart will begin to heal. David is an important brother to me, and I sincerely hope that he will find happiness in the future. I truly wish for his well-being, and I want him to experience a peaceful and fulfilling life moving forward. One where he can leave behind the pain and suffering that this situation has caused. Though the ordeal has been traumatic for all involved, especially David, I hope he will come out stronger from it all. I know that with time, the love and care of those close to him will help him heal. The road to recovery may be long, but I have faith that he will emerge from this dark chapter and find a future filled with joy and stability. Looking back, I can't help but think of how this situation unfolded. Melissa's actions, her unwillingness to take responsibility, her constant excuses, only made things worse. She continued to ignore the impact of her actions on those around her, especially David, who has always been the kind of person to carry the weight of others' problems without complaint. It's heartbreaking to think that her decisions caused him so much pain. Despite everything, I am grateful that David has the support of his loved ones. His husband and younger brother have been a great source of comfort during this time. They've been taking him out, trying to help him forget, even if just for a while, the heavy burden he's been carrying. It's clear that, while the emotional scars may take time to heal, David is surrounded by people who care for him deeply. As for Melissa, her path is unclear. She seemed to have no awareness of the consequences of her actions, and it remains to be seen whether she will ever take accountability for what she's done. But one thing is certain. My family will no longer suffer from her choices. We are all moving forward, stronger and more united than ever. David, however, remains my priority. I've always cared deeply for him, and seeing him in pain like this has been incredibly difficult. He's always been so selfless, so giving, but now it's his time to heal and take care of himself. I will continue to support him in any way I can, and I hope that, over time, he finds the peace he deserves. Melissa's actions, however, will not define David's future, though she may have caused significant harm. I believe in his strength and resilience. He's been through so much already, and I know that he will find his way out of this darkness. The road ahead won't be easy, but I have no doubt that David will overcome this and find happiness once more. Looking to the future, I'm determined to ensure that David's healing process is supported by those who truly care about him. He deserves nothing less than happiness and peace. And while we cannot undo the past, we can control the future. I will be there for David, as will others who care for him, ensuring that he never has to walk this difficult road alone again. Melissa's mistakes have had a ripple effect on many lives, but I truly believe that David will come out of this stronger. I hope he continues to heal, both emotionally and mentally, and finds a sense of peace. I pray that he is able to build a life where he can leave behind the scars of the past and focus on a future filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. David deserves that, and I will stand by him every step of the way as he moves forward. Looking back at everything that happened, it's almost hard to believe how much we've been through. The situation with Melissa was incredibly difficult for all of us. At first, we never imagined it would escalate to the point it did. It was a series of poor decisions, one after another, that led us to this breaking point. Melissa's inability to take responsibility for her actions only made things worse. and it was painful to watch as she continued to avoid any kind of accountability, despite the harm she caused to so many people, especially David. David, being the kind and thoughtful person that he is, had always been the one to try to protect everyone. He was the one who would shoulder the burdens of the family, trying to make things easier for others. And yet, it was as if Melissa completely disregarded the impact of her actions on him. She treated the situation as if it was someone else's problem. And that made everything so much harder for David. To see him, who had always been so strong, crumble under the weight of it all was heartbreaking. But, at the same time, it was clear to me that David's strength came not from bearing the weight of everyone else's problems, but from his ability to rise above them, no matter how hard life got. The most difficult part of all this was the way Melissa treated her own family. To think that she would drag David and even the rest of us into this mess because of her own selfishness was incomprehensible. She had the power to stop everything from spiraling out of control, but she chose not to. She chose to deny her own mistakes, to ignore the suffering she was causing, and ultimately to let everything collapse around her. The way she responded, with nothing but excuses and blame, only made it harder for anyone to understand how she could have acted this way. I couldn't help but wonder, did she ever care about the people around her? Did she care about David, the brother she once knew, who was now suffering because of her actions? For David, it wasn't just about the financial strain or the legal consequences, though those were significant. What hurt the most was the betrayal. His trust in his family, in his marriage, was shattered. The person he had once loved, the woman he had shared a life with, had done something unforgivable. And even more painful was the realization that his family, the people he trusted to support him, had been pulled into this mess by someone who didn't care enough to stop it. But even in the darkest moments, I knew that David had the potential to heal. It wasn't going to be easy, but he had always been resilient. He was the kind of person who, despite everything, kept moving forward. There were days when he would fall into despair, days when he didn't know how to pick himself up, but he never let that stop him. With the love and support of his husband and his younger brother, I believed that David could find a way through this. They were his anchor, his safe space in a world that had suddenly become so uncertain. I knew they would stand by him, no matter what. It was also clear to me that David needed time. Time to process everything that had happened. Time to let go of the hurt and disappointment that Melissa had caused him. But I had faith that, over time, the pain would lessen. He had been through so much already, and I knew that he had the strength to move forward. I could only pray that he would find peace, that he would come to a place where he could forgive, not for Melissa's sake, but for his own. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.